Bookish fans, welcome back to another episode of Read and Ready. This is a series where we get ready together and then we have a little bookish chit chat, whether it's a discussion, a review, mid-book thought, or everything in between. And today I'm gonna get ready for bed, so it's just a very casual discussion on what's going on in the book community. Let's jump in. I'm gonna spray my face first. Okay, today we're gonna talk about Booktok in 2025 and what the reader actually wants. Booktok has changed the way people read, how people perceive books, how we as a community grow and interact with one another. But in 2025, it's a little bit different. Today, let's talk about what's trending on Booktok, what the readers actually want, and how you can make the trends work with you, not against you. I need to start drying my hair as well. So if you guys were in Booktok in 2020, 2021, especially the time where everyone is just cooped up, in isolation, we were doing quarantine and we suddenly had a lot of time to read and to go through like our TBR list, to read what we wanted to read. There was an influx of books just out in the market and a lot of recommendation. 2020, the start of the quarantine, I think in March, I did start to read again in April. I was in uni and I didn't really have a lot of things to do. Everything was online and yes, there was still assignment, but suddenly there was a lot of free time. We didn't have to do commute anymore. Online class was still trying to get its footing. So again, a lot of free time. I didn't even download TikTok until the pandemic because I just wanted something to do. In the beginning, it was more about trendy TikTok sounds and dances, but as I stumbled into the reading world, I got a lot of recommendation. There was a lot of emphasis on reading ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, and Anna Huang's Twisted Love series. The series that caught my attention at first was Penelope Douglas' Devil's Night series. I was a lover of dark romance. If you read so many romance like me, I just wanted something different. Yes, it's not for everyone, and you should absolutely read the trigger warnings, because again, those books are quite dark. But that is also my introduction to interconnected series, because back in the days, back when I was a teenager reading book all the time, it's just a full-fledged series. They don't do different couples in different books, just like an interconnected series is now. And then I got introduced to the Twisted series by Anna Huang. Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, Twisted Lies. It was just the beginning. Interesting thing is those books like ACOTAR from Sarah J. Maas, those books were published in 2015. So Booktok was reintroducing old published books to a world of new readers. It's like that series like ACOTAR blew up worldwide. I personally still haven't read ACOTAR, even though I do have the box set and the new Night Court edition, and perhaps we'll do a read along on that very soon, because I do hear that a lot of people say just to get through with book 1 with ACOTAR, and then the rest of the book will be a lot better. And I do get a lot of mini spoilers on Booktok, which not the best thing, but it is getting me excited. Anyway, I'm getting off point. One of the other authors that blew up from Booktok, even though I've never read any of the book, were Colleen Hoover. And the drama that It Ends With Us started, like the movie, but we're not here to talk about that. A new era on how to read and how the community would perceive it. But 5 years later, we're now in 2025, and readers just want something different. They don't want just a recycle of the same books over and over. Readers are getting fatigued by just vibes, tropes being thrown out there. Because at this point, it feels like the authors are writing for the tropes rather than writing the story itself and then perhaps categorizing it in tropes. It was fun back then to be able to be convinced to read books. For example, like Devil Knight, I was convinced to read the book because of the vibes. People did all this good, crazy edits of the vibes, of the character. How a lot of Booktok community people are commenting on certain TikTokers comments of you're Ava Chen, you remind me so much of her. Yes, it's good for visualization, but I do think we're just past the point now. Where is the days of just hard, full-on review? Where is the excitement now? I just feel like a lot of reviews are just based on vibes, just based on tropes. it's not compelling anymore. And this is no hate towards anyone. This is just coming from someone who were reading and who were excited about just reviews and reading before the Booktok community was formed. Also, let's talk about something that is so relevant to me, is how we're now focusing more on the quantity rather than the quality of book. It's more about people focusing on reading like 100 books per year rather than curating the books to make sure that each book that they are reading is like gonna be the best book that's gonna change their lives. Let's talk about what's actually trending on Booktok. Number one has got to be the romantasy takeover. Everything is now romantasy. And as a romantasy reader, yes, it's fun, but at this point, it just feels like a recycled material over and over. It's always enemies to lovers. It's always some kind of royalty or aristocracy, some kind of weird magical system. And at some point, whenever books are saying like, oh, this is just a mix of ACOTAR and Hunger Games. Okay, this is not saying shade toward anyone, but like how Powerless was basically just a Red Queen mixed Hunger Games. And then a lot of people were even going to Victoria Aveyard, who was the author of Red Queen, and saying that she copied Powerless when the book came out so long ago. Is wild to me. Books just don't feel realistic anymore. Gone are the days of just like emotional slices of life, the mundane. And it's always being replaced by this emotional, shocking twist. Like everything have to be a twist. It sometimes feels like authors are writing manuscripts for movies rather than just a book. It's okay to have it as a book. There are amazing writers, screenwriters that can transform your book into a script one day. And I know that a lot of books are being picked up for movie adaptation. It's a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I would love to see some of my favorite books in movie form, but just leave the book as is. You know, there is time for it to become a manuscript later. There's also this sort of backlist boom where just one creator talking about a certain book that the community never even heard of, and suddenly it skyrockets. This is a good thing. It gives the community a chance to discover new books, something that they might never know before. This is the trend that I actually like, because if they bring back some of my favorite books from my childhood, for example, Vampire Academy, my favorite series ever, I would be very happy to talk about it, to review it, to reread it even. And lastly, a lot more people are talking about their burnout journey, their reading slump journey. This is something that's very close to my heart because I did go through this and it was quite hard to overcome. The fact that a lot of people are getting burnt out means that there needs to be a change. There needs to be more of an enjoyment in reading rather than just trying to reach the numbers. And some of these changes are not necessarily bad. A lot of people, I'm also noticing this shift in me, is getting tired of just reading to show off a number, of just reading to be able to reach a certain goal. But they're starting to read again, read for themselves, read for the enjoyment of reading and just sharing the joy with people. And I feel like when you're actually feeling joyful, people can tell the difference between someone being genuinely excited over a book or just sharing for the sake of sharing. I think this is my goal as well. I am trying to not just reach numbers of followers, of subscribers. I am trying to have a connection. I'm trying to build a community of people who enjoy the same kind of book that I do, that we can have a discussion about it, we can freak out and make up theories together, and I feel like that is the most enjoyable part of reading. I am hoping that this trend will shuffle through the era of slow reading, of group discussion, of bookish community, of people just having a conversation again, and not just trying to reach the numbers, the followers, the likes, the subscriber count, but more about a community sharing with one another. Again, this year I only read less than 30 books. This video will take you to my explanation on why I read 26 books this year. It changed. I finished The Crimson Moth, so technically it's 27, but I'm not longer counting to reach a certain goal. I'm not even adding a new goal. I'm just reading as I enjoy. If I ended up reading only 27, that's great. If at the end of the year I ended up reaching 30, that's great as well. But I want to make sure every book that I read is something that I'm excited about, something that I curate myself, that I know I actually want to read. And I am sharing through the enjoyment through read-alongs, because I get to share daily thoughts, I get to process it slower, and I get to give my reaction. And hopefully that will also convince you to read this book. Even if you read it before, you can reread it together, or you might have never even heard of it, which is a good thing. I'm introducing you to a new book. Self-reflection. Let's talk about the trends that are actually useful to you. Like, reading goals used to be very useful to me because it pushed me to read a lot. Is it a good thing? Back then, when I didn't have anything to do at home and I was just trying to spend my time trying to find a way to kill the boredom, it was a great thing. And 2020, 2021, I think I read like 150 book a year, and I did get to try out a lot new different authors. I did try a bunch of new genres. I wasn't really a big fantasy reader back then, and I am going back to my love of mystery as the genre. I used to be a very big Agatha Christie kid. Like, I read a lot of her books as a kid. I love Nancy Drew. Finding Alchemy of Secrets, where there's a mix of fantasy and mystery together, I think was one of the best things that got me out of my reading slump as well. Stephanie Garber has always been the author that I read, but the fact that she shifted her genre a bit, I just love that. And if you haven't watched the review or my mid-book thought on Alchemy of Secrets, you can follow the video here to binge watch next. And I want to reiterate that if you see like a Booktok trend or reading trend that feels burdening to you, that actually burned you out or makes you feel more anxious, then click off, then don't follow it. A lot of people are still doing the fast reading challenge, the 150 books a year. And if that works for them, that's amazing. That means we get to see more reviews, we get to see more recommendation from them. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it. Again, just because some people are doing it and it works for them doesn't mean it will work for you. Just make sure you are actually checking in on yourself and reflecting, is this for me? Should I just watch it for the fun of it through other people? Is the point I want to make with this video is follow the trends that inspire you, that makes you feel joyful in reading again. If that comes in like setting a goal to reading for you, like a 50 books in a year, that's amazing. Then do that. If that helps you to discover new books, new author, amazing. Because I had that time, but I just feel like this time, this period of my life, that just doesn't work for me. A fun trend that I used to do as well was 10 before the end. So it's usually like 10 books that you want to read at the end of the year. Especially if you already have the physical book, sometimes that's a good thing to do because you might not have a lot of things to do at the end of the year. If you also have like time off or break, it's very encouraging and it actually sets you accountable. But I don't think I'm gonna be doing that this year because I definitely cannot read 10 books within a month anymore. But again, it's a good idea. This is almost December, so maybe do like 3 before the end. I feel like that's a good idea, like 3 books in a month for the holiday season. Pick like more holiday romance. That could be fun and would get you into the festive season as well. So what Booktok trends are you doing this year? And for a little self-reflection, are you reading for the joy of reading or are you doing it for the algorithm? That was actually a question that I had to ask myself. That was actually what helped me stop being overwhelmed and stop feeling burnt out, because I feel like at some point I was reading for the algorithm because I wanted to follow and I didn't want to, like, the fear of missing out is just too strong. Comment what your reading goal was for 2025 and have you reached it? Have you changed it slightly? And how are you doing right now? What are you reading right now? And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't. Let's connect because all my socials are Get Lost with M. And if you want to find more content, I always post read-alongs on YouTube Shorts. I try to update daily. Sometimes if I'm traveling or I'm a bit sick or there is just too much to do in a day, post the read along the next day. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat. I hope you have a good rest of your day and see you guys next time. Bye.